Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another free pre-market broadcast with IU and the mods. Obviously, as I've said before, this is the exact same process we go through every single day in the room. A few of the guys, a few of the mods get together and we share our watch lists for the day every day at 8:45. I've just been away on holiday or vacation, as probably most of you will say. I think pretty sure for the first time I'm fairly confident in my trading career, it's the first time I haven't placed a trade in a whole week. It's also the first time I've been away and haven't taken my laptop, haven't looked at any scans, haven't looked at any chat, anything. So certainly good, feeling refreshed, feeling lost as well. But we need to get stuck in. Just up first, just a quick disclaimer. This video is for information and education purposes only. These are not buy or sell recommendations. If you're happy with that, then please continue to watch. All right, cool. Up first, we got Judah. Take it away, Judah.
Hey, good morning. So brief discussion quickly about, the overall market. We're having a gap up this morning off the EU news out this weekend. We are fading a little bit here in pre-market, which isn't much and doesn't really worry me. I mean, I think, if we're going to fade, potential support around the 584s level, but overall, we get this 20% pullback over a couple months, and then we get this 20% push over about a month or so, and now we're just putting in this little handle. Overall, I think this looks really good, and this gap up is just making the overall bigger picture look even better. So this fade doesn't worry me too much in the morning, and overall, I mean, this is very healthy and what is necessary for more upside continuation. So my focus is going to be on names that are holding up and actionable. So I'll jump right in. DJT, the only one really with catalyst out, this morning or over the weekend, pretty much gapper. Even though everything's gapping up, this has news out over the weekend that Trump plans to raise $3 billion to spend on cryptocurrencies. So overall, this should be, pretty positive for, crypto itself, since Trump media. But we get this decent move over here, about 100% move. We've consolidated and based for about a month, and now we're gapping up over these levels. So I'll be looking for any trend to join off of open. We're just basing well here in pre-market. So I think really any build of open, I'd be interested there. Then for continuations, we got Tesla. Tesla had a great move out of the range that we had back here over the 200, and now we're just starting to flag a little bit, tighten up, and this morning we gapped out a little bit, so trend over there for continuation. We got HIMS. HIMS, this daily reminds me of a few names. Aklo back here where we get this gap down, this inside day, and then we get that continuation. It reminds me of GRRR where we get, this gap down, this little bit of inside day, and then continuation back to the upside. And then PLTR, when the earnings came out back here, we put that inside day and then we continued a bit higher. So that's what I'm looking for. We already gapped up over my levels, so any trend off of open, I would be interested in taking that. Palantir, clear levels and flag, although I would have liked for a little bit more of a continuation. We are gapping up, and if the market continues, this has been, a clear leader, so I would look to join something over there. Some speculative names, RKLB, very, very tight day on Friday. A little bit of a grind, overall big daily base. IonQ had a, the article out that morning about, being the next NVIDIA or whatever, but it kind of reminds me a little bit like that, where we have this huge base, this little bit of a grind, and then just, that perk through. So RKLB is also another little bit of a gap this morning. So kind of any build, versus some key levels that I have, I'll be looking to join. ACHR had a huge earnings move with big volume out of this base. Multi-day move, had a decent fade, and Culper Research was out with a short. They were out with a short. I mean, down here, maybe got involved there. I have no idea where they got involved, but now put an inside day, got very tight on Friday. We're gapping up pre-market, so if 11s could support and trend, then I'd be interested in that. And then Hertz, I'm not so sure that I'm interested. I'm just keeping it on watch because of the volume and push that we got on Thursday. Very tight inside day on Friday. A little bit of a range, but closed pretty tight. So just one that I'll keep on watch, potentially over the 730, 750s level. Just a back burner watch, but these are probably my priority in order. And that's pretty much what I got this morning. I'll pass it over to Emil.
All right, morning everyone. So for me, it's going to be LTRY this morning. I would really like to see some pops against pretty much 225-ish area. As you can see, Friday had a big rejection. And, if we manage to retest those levels again, for me, it's going to offer a good risk reward for a short. So any push and fail against 220, more or less, I'm going to be interested in getting short. Also watching a few big names like CRWD. This one been flagging in the past few weeks, and it's breaking out this morning. Usually not a big fan of chasing this type of moves, but at any given stage, it's going to give some dips versus, 454-ish area, more or less, or even lower, and then finds a base there. Definitely, I'm going to be interested in snagging some long, and then maybe we'll watch if it's going to perk later in the day for more ads. Same thing goes to VST. Same thing here, daily, similar flagging, but again, I'm not going to chase any, move to the upwards, but if it's going to make some dips and then reclaim these levels and it's going to soak versus green to red area, then I'm going to watch for a long entry. UEC, this is from the nuclear energy basket. And we've seen even X went ballistic on Friday. So since this one, been gapping up and had a nice run on Friday, definitely zero interest to get involved at this stage. But if it's going to have a washout versus 630-ish more or less, or even green to red area, then definitely I'm going to be interested in double sum and see if it's going to hold those levels and put a base and I'm going to add more if it's starting to perk later in the day. Tesla, more or less same thing. Jura went over it. Nice sideways action in the past few days. It's a little bit choppy, it's not out of the woods, but since gapping up this morning, again, I'm going to watch dips versus 342-ish, more or less, see if found a base there or, go sideways and then maybe have an opening range break. That would be something that I'm interested in. Grell, another name I'm watching. This one putting a very tight range, and again gapping up this morning. I would really like to see some sort of a sideways action or dips versus green to red, and then we'll decide if I'm going to take a trade based on that. And the last one is SBET. This one, small float and was trading super thin early in the market, then swiped through highs. I'm going to watch this one for a short. As long as it's going to stay into this range, not really interested, but if it's going to speed up into upper range, 28.75-ish, 30, see if it's going to stop there, I'm going to be interested, or it's going to break under 21 area, and then definitely interested in pops against those levels. Looking to short this one. and again, but not looking to be the first in. So I'm going to give a bit of time, see how it's going to unfold, and then decide, if it's going to be a good risk reward or not. So pretty much that's it for me today, guys. Good luck, and Stan, it's next up for me.
All right, thank you very much, Emil. Good morning, everyone. We have Tuesday, May 27th. And I'll actually just go over SBET first, given that's what Emil ended with, and then I'll roll into the next things that I'm watching. So this SBET chart, just looking at the daily, first of all, that's kind of where my hesitation in trading it comes from. There really isn't much information that I can gather from the daily chart, given it's I mean, you can pull this up, right? And over the last couple of years, you're averaging a daily volume of 1,000 to 3,000-4,000 shares. And then today, so far, you're already almost at 17 million. So I can't really sink teeth into anything of the historical data or historical resistance. So in a way, this SBET chart, it kind of goes towards the back of the screen for me, given how much more opportunity there is in other tickers. So unless I get exactly what I need, which that would be some sort of a clear out versus this 26 to 28 area. So unless this thing clears out, slams, and then fails to follow through of this 29 to 20 area, I have zero interest in trading it. So essentially, as long as it remains in this channel, I really don't have much of an interest in trading this name. So that's SBET. Pretty thin. Obviously, you can see from $10 to $35 in a couple of candles. So it's not something to mess around with. Is the end message with SBET. So switching gears to some of the more liquid names. So far that we've noticed, we have a couple of competing, not competing, just simultaneous themes and sectors running. We have your quantum coming back to life, and then also there is the nuclear sector protruding as well. So for me, this quantum trade, we can kind of see RGTI. I mean, when I'm talking about quantum, I'm talking about RGTI, IONQ, QBTS, QUBT, etc. So you can kind of see all of the charts look pretty much the same. QBTS clearly, way ahead of all of the other names, at least from a technical chart perspective. But for me, I'm essentially, as we break through higher levels, I'm not necessarily, trusting these previous levels as much, because we've had plenty of time. We've had, about 4 or 5 months of digestion, of up and down, indecision, etc. And now we're sort of picking up and doing a round 2 type of a move. So it doesn't mean that I don't look at the previous levels where it kind of failed, off the 16 or the 17s, etc. Of course, I look at that stuff. It's just, given all the time that has passed, given all the back and forth, it's good to consider that in how your share structure looks now, and what does the supply and demand aspect looks these days. So for me, RGTI, ideally higher the better. Any sort of clear out, any sort of speed up is what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in the sideways action. However, the quantum names have been, they have been great names for both sides, right? You could find a great long opportunity, or if you're patient, you could find a great short opportunity, throughout the day, throughout the move. So that's essentially what I like about the quantum names, the vehicle aspect of them. QBTS, similar thoughts. You can kind of see the higher time frame. If we clear out this 20s and then fail to follow through, interested. IONQ, Judah went over it a little bit. Same here, right? If we clear out this 48.49, it's interested again. So that essentially becomes the quantum, the quantum names. And just a couple of other charts that I haven't watched. I think there might be a good trade opportunity there today. PDD, pretty much it got clobbered there after earnings, down 20%, give or take. So, for me, what I'm looking for on a day like today, out of something like PDD, any sort of, swipe 102s, 105s, and then fails to follow through, I will be interested. The next one that I haven't watched, and the last one for today, is UNH. UNH, similar type of idea. What I'm looking for essentially is some sort of clarity outside of this channel, right? So I don't know what happened to this. So outside of this $10 channel is, $13 channel is essentially where I get interested. So if we swipe 303s and then fail to follow through, I'm interested. Obviously, no sizing until this 290s over under. Or if it fails out of the gate, 290s comes back, retests, and it cannot get over it into this 290, 300 range, then again, I'm interested in a fail to follow through. I think this could offer a good opportunity. And with that pretty much wraps up the watch list for me. I will pass this over to Sam, and I will see you guys later.
Magic. Thank you, Stan. Thank you, Judah. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you've made it this far, make sure you hit that like, that retweet button, that subscribe button, whatever it is you're watching on that platform. And if you made it this far and you're not currently in IU and you enjoy this process, then like I said at the beginning, we do this every single day at 8:45. Come join us. Come trade with us. My details are on the screen. Email me or DM me on X. And yeah, I can help point you in the right direction. All right, cool. Trade them well.